Welcome to Lucky XDP. I'm DP,
I'm lucky.
and we just watched Immaculate.
Yeah, so Immaculate, starring Sydney Sweeney. Listen, this might be one of the best horror movies to come out since maybe Smile, in my opinion. This movie takes a very grounded approach. It takes a deep look at the Catholic Church and some of the not so nice things going on behind the scenes. I know the time period in which this movie takes place is a little bit shady. Like, we don't really know exactly what time period this is in. There's some scenes where it looks like modern day cars, and then there's other scenes where it looks like it could be in the 40s, 50s, 60s even. So I give this movie a 9. I love the grounded approach. I love how they didn't take a supernatural route, rather, but they stayed with this grounded story of this woman who was being forced into this sadistic scientific thing going on at this church.
Yeah, I'd have to say that I agree. Probably not as much as Lucky thinks on it. I think it was a good movie. I think they could have gone a better direction towards the end, if anything. If they wanted to continue this film and make it into a series, I think that would have been really cool if they made it almost like American Horror Story Apocalypse, where they would essentially have like the demon baby take over the world, blah, 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 all that jazz. I did like the acting. The acting was a fantastic aspect of the movie. Sydney Sweeney obviously did an amazing job. She was crazy good. And even the ending where she's just constantly screaming, it gave me chills and just made me uncomfortable with the amount of like tensity that was going on within this cult-ish abbey that they were at. And to be honest, this movie was not at all what I expected. I thought it was going to be a supernatural movie like The Nun, to be honest, and it's far from it, but it was still really interesting.
Yeah, DP, I'm not gonna lie, I think I disagree with you in that regard of the ending. To me, it was a refreshing take on horror where we got to step away from the supernatural stuff. Don't get me wrong, I love my supernatural movies, but it takes a different approach and it keeps things very grounded. The story is all about how this woman kind of joins this abbey, and when she's introduced, she finds out that she's pregnant at the abbey, and the mystery kind of unfolds from there, and there's a lot to love about this. I feel like this is a very gripping story, a very heartfelt story. You feel for her throughout the entirety of this film. I think Sweeney does a fantastic job of capturing the emotions that her character needed in this type of film. It was all around really good, and the music as well was spot on, and the lack of usage of music throughout this film in very tense moments that we'll talk about a little bit later. Fantastic.
Yeah, I do agree. The lack of music in some areas definitely adds to the suspense of the movie. There were a lot of moments where I was really uncomfortable, where I would look at Lucky and the friend that we had with us, and I would just sit there and be like, no, 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 no. I'd back away from it, same as I usually do with some other movies. And the last movie to really, truly do that to me was Smile. It was a very scary movie. It was very intense, just like this one. And it wasn't even in the ways of like supernatural or anything like that. Like, it had some aspects that seemed supernatural, but it was meant to throw you off, which is awesome. Which I forgot to add my rating of this movie. I would say it's maybe a 7.5 out of 10, maybe an 8. I liked it, but I think it was lacking in some areas personally for me, but I like the direction that it went. It was really cool. It was very different. So something new we're going to try to do as well is talk about the parts that scared us the most. Lucky?
Yeah, so this movie takes the horror to a very human level, and I felt like the catacombs scene where she finds her dead friend and she's also being hunted by this priest. It was surreal a little bit. It felt like kind of almost like Michael Myers hunting his victims. It felt kind of nostalgic in a way, almost like The Shining-esque.
It was definitely very scary in that sense. What got me was when they were cutting out her friend's tongue. That, ooh, I could not look. I was like, no, why? Like the cool nun too. That, oh, it gave me goosebumps. Like, I think it was more disturbing, and that's what added to the horror rather than actual jump scares, if anything. Because only one of them legitimately got me.
Yeah, and on top of it, you know, you factor in the fact that like everything is very like personal in this film. It feels as though, you know, she even says like you're a psychopath to this priest because of the experiments that they're trying to do. They're trying to basically create the second coming of Christ through surrogacy. How do you pronounce that? Surrogacy. I'm just gonna breeze through that. I have a list. My apologies. But they're trying to recreate the birth of Christ through like impregnating nuns, which on the outside sounds insane, but like when you really think about it, that
Inside and
seems like,
outside.
yeah. But when you think about it, that seems like something that a twisted human in like reality could have or might in the future try to do.
Kinda, yeah. And that is all, folks, for our video right here. Don't forget to check out all the other movies that are going to come out this year for 2024. We're very excited to check them out, review them for you, and yeah.
Yeah, guys, I can't wait. There's a lot of content for us horror fanatics out there coming out in big 2024. Remember to hit the bell, comment, subscribe, stay up to date when we post our videos. We love to have these discussions with you guys. We've been DM'd, our videos have been commented on, and it's so fun to get to talk to you guys as frequently as we get to. So, and shout out BP Fun. If you guys enjoy our nerdy type content, don't forget to check those guys out. We're on there pretty frequently as well. So a lot of stuff to really love coming into the second half of 2024.
Well, again, that's all. Don't forget to de-stress
Progress.
and let your mind rest. Take it easy, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.